What's up, Gov Seekers? How are you doing? Happy New Year. Happy January 6th. We just got to celebrate America's real freedom. So thanks for watching. What's up, Gov Seekers? Oh, I knew How it. Are you doing? Happy New Year. Of course, there's always some button. January 6th. Oh, stupid robots. Thanks for fucking punch your. There we go. All right. Got everything shut off. I blame the CIA. A little early on the East Coast. Imagine then what it's like on the West Coast. Imagine if it's early for you on the East Coast. Imagine that what you were doing 3 hours before then. Sleeping, right? That's what's happening on the West Coast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Government Secrets. My name is Graham. I'll just get over a cold, a little sniffly here. A little sniffly. But I got a fantastic haircut. Nice and tight around the ears, and then just left it just enough, you know what I mean? Just enough cabbage up top to keep it glistening, you know what I mean? Just looking gorgeous. Want to get this situated? And this, all right, we gotta get the necklace lined up. It's just weird when this is off, everything else is off. You know what I mean? You got to get the beads lined up. Holgo 100, right on, our moderator. And let's get into it. Let's do it. Let's start the business here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Government Secrets episode 194, 6 away from 200, with the two most censored comedians in America, Lee Camp and Graham Elwood.
Hey, man.
What is up, dude? Happy New Year.
Yeah, so happy. The happiest New Year I've ever seen.
Isn't it great to just start the new year off with an illegal abduction and invasion? And just
illegal, totally unhinged criminal kidnapping of another country's leader. And the exciting thing is, I guess we can just do this with any country we disagree with, like we meaning the ruling elite disagree with. You can just go in and fucking black bag people and see what happens afterwards, right?
There's not going to be negative repercussions, you know? I mean, there's nobody, it's not like, I mean, I guess Russia could just abduct Trump, right? And just say,
or Zelensky or what have you. Yeah. I think now all bets are off. I did, though, just post a column on my Substack, reallycamp.substack.com, where I'm like, this does seem shocking, but let's remember the U.S. behavior in Latin America, which you and I have covered extensively on this show over the years. Like black bagging their leaders, invading, stealing people. Actually, since it'll probably only take like 1 minute, I'm gonna go down the list. We've done episodes on about half this list. Yes. But let's just remind everybody of the general U.S. behavior in Latin America. So these are, but you got to add a bunch of caveats for this list not to be like 300 long. This is not funding militias. This is not lawfare coups. It's mostly not attempted coups, except I included one or two in there. This is basically just U.S. involvement in the death, kidnapping, or coupping of a leader only in Latin America, only after 1950. Because if we don't add these caveats, we'll be here all day. 1954, Guatemala, President Jacobo Arbenz overthrown in a CIA operation. 60, 70, and 80s, Cuba, the 634 attempts to assassinate Fidel Castro.
Boom, boom, boom.
Which we definitely did an episode on. There's like diagrams of the booby trapped scuba suits and shit, like fake seashells that they wanted him to like scuba dive down to, and then they were gonna blow him up. Just awesome stuff. Then, of course, the Bay of Pigs attempt. You got 1961, Dominican Republic, Rafael Trujillo, U.S.-backed coup and assassination. 64, Brazil, President Goulart, which I knew nothing about, U.S.-supported coup. 65, Dominican Republic, President Bosch, U.S.-supported coup. 70, Chile, General Schneider, U.S.-supported kidnapping, which resulted in assassination. 71, Bolivia, Jose Torres, U.S.-supported coup. 73, Chile, Allende, U.S.-backed coup and quote-unquote suicide of Allende.
Which led to a genocide.
But that was okay because we supported that leader, so that's fine.
Yeah, sure. It's a good one. It's one of the good genocides.
Definitely one of the good genocides. 76, Argentina, Isabel Perón, U.S.-backed coup. 76, Bolivia, former President Torres, U.S.-supported assassination. 81, Panama, General Torrijos, death in a suspicious plane crash with U.S. support. We did just cover these two in a recent episode. 81, Ecuador, President Roldos, death in suspicious plane crash with likely U.S. support. Also, I like that both of those were Latin American leaders in 1981. You got to figure there was like one guy at the CIA who was like, dude, plane crashes. They're the best, man. And like for that 1 year, he was like, everybody's dying in plane crashes. How we're doing it.
And we got the two greatest words in the world, mechanical error. It's awesome, man. Like,
83, Grenada, U.S. invasion and coup. 1980s, Nicaragua, Sandinista government sustained regime change war, obviously. 89, Panama, we just did an episode on that. Manuel Noriega, invasion, kidnapping, Operation Just Cuz.
Operation Just Cuz.
Operation,
I don't know. What else are we going to do on a weekend?
It's literally called Just Cuz. Operation, fuck it. We got... Oh, yeah. I remember we covered this in that episode. It was the first ever U.S. nighttime raid. Basically, they wanted to try out their nighttime toys. Cool. X-ray vision and whatever the fuck. Nighttime vision. 2002, Venezuela. Hugo Chavez. They couped him for less than 2 days before he was returned to power. We did an episode on that recently. 2004, Haiti. Jean-Bertrand Aristide kidnapped and flown to Africa on a U.S. military plane. Just dump him in Africa. That should fix it. 2009, Honduras. President Zelaya, U.S.-backed kidnapping and coup. And now, 2026, Maduro kidnapping and extraction to U.S. custody. And again, we have couped a lot more people in Latin America just in the past 10, 20 years, but most of them have been lawfare or various other techniques. So,
yeah, well, I like a good, honest, just a straightforward coup. You know what I mean? You don't need all the frills. You know, I'm just like a straight coup guy.
Yeah, we prior to Donald Trump, we did for several years, not in the entirety of the U.S., but for several years we had done things kind of on the more DL, a little more subtle, you know, whereas Donald Trump pronounces the B in subtle. So it's
subtle.
There's no subtlety. They're legit, like Maduro hadn't touched foot on American soil yet, and Trump was like, so we got the oil, yeah? He's like meeting with Chevron like that day. There's no subtlety.
Oh God. And this won't have any blowback. It's not like then right after we did this, China said, oh, we're stopping any shipments of any of the precious metals used in like semiconductors and stuff like that. Like this is just like China, because China gets 800 billion oil barrels of oil from Venezuela a day or a week or something a year. I don't know, whatever, some massive amount. And now we're stopping that with this coup. And so China's like, okay, well, good luck making semiconductors and copper wiring and anything that goes in a cell phone or a computer. Good luck.
Yeah, as I've heard it described, anything you turn on and off other than your mistress has rare earth metals in it. I mean, she might as well, but
I mean, mine does. I have a robot mistress.
oh, I thought you were gonna say nipple ring, but um, yeah. But I think we've at least mentioned this before that China's big kind of ace in the hole, is I guess the expression, is that it's not necessarily having the rare earths, although they do have access to a large number of rare earths. Rare earths are not that rare, which is why Trump is moving to either quote unquote purchase them behind the gun barrel from Ukraine or steal Greenland or whatever. But the problem is the processing of rare earths. The China processes 90 whatever, it's like 93% of all rare earth metals, which are incredibly hard to process. And so the US is trying to buy time by backing off China for like a year or two to try and create the processing needed for these rare earth metals so that they can then go at China later. But right now, China still has this giant card they can play.
Yeah, and this is probably some kind of dumb tactic by Trump to say, well, we'll stop their oil then. And it's just like, all right, this is just going to keep, it'll be like another, like his failed tariff thing. And I feel like
it could be. I mean, it also has to do with the fact that he wanted to, the ruling elite wanted to find a replacement for Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia is backing off the petrodollar. And
they joined BRICS on January 1st.
They joined BRICS. I think they still, I don't know the percentages, but they still sell most of their oil in US dollars. So it's not like the petrodollar's over, but it's waning. And so Trump and the US slime molds realized they needed to find basically a giant oil replacement. And so they invaded and kidnapped him.
I'm sure it was just a wacky coincidence that China pulls out, or Saudi Arabia joins BRICS on January 1st. And then like 2 days later, we capture Maduro or something like that. It's like 3 days later. Oh, weird.
I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia. And it wasn't on the news at all. Like it happened New Year's Day.
So yeah, it was announced back in 2023, but the announcement doesn't mean it happened. Because it takes a while to actually have the membership like processed. But,
I think that's what happened is then New Year's Day it became official or something like that or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, it's definitely recent and yeah, Trump and the fucking dark cephalopods realized that they needed to find a replacement, and they just raping Latin America.
Oh,
like
they've always done.
Long-time listener, definitely not first-time caller to kidnapping and cooing Latin American
no
leaders.
But like we said in the past, Venezuela, it's their own fault for building a country on top of American oil. I mean, that's
Trump legit said they have our oil. He legit said they have taken our oil because they canceled the contracts, because that's how it works. If you don't sign a contract with someone, then you have stolen their oil. Like what?
Unbelievable.
I guess we should. Well, if anybody wants more on that, you obviously have your live streams. I have my live streams. I've done a couple already on what went down in Venezuela, and I have a new Substack column, reallycamp.substack. So check it out there. But we should move on to our topics.
Let's do it. Do you want to do the ATF gunwalking scandal first?
All right, let's do it.
It is so great because we've done a lot of CIA operations and FBI, and we really haven't given much love to the ATF and their scandals. We really
fewer. The only time I think we had some ATF mentions was the Oklahoma bombing. ATF was kind of important.
I think we've had some mentions of them with some Waco references, but we've never done a full-on Waco episode or Ruby Ridge or anything like that. So I felt like it wasn't fair. I didn't want to just, feel like I'm playing favorites and I only like CIA operations, which I do, but I just I don't want the guys at the ATF to feel like they're left out,
No. Listen, ATF, if you're listening out there, your corruption is as good as anybody's.
You're just as good. You're just as corrupt as the other three little agencies, and don't let anybody tell you different. Okay. Your mom and dad and I, we love you just as much as the other filthy, corrupt places that have ruining the world. So this is the gunwalking scandal. It's literally called the ATF Gunwalking Scandal, or letting guns walk. It was a tactic used by the Arizona U.S. Attorney Office and the Arizona Field Office of the ATF, which ran a series of sting operations between 2006 and 2011 in the Tucson and Phoenix area. Now, one of the reasons I was excited about this is I went to college at the University of Arizona in Tucson. I spent a lot of time in Tucson and Phoenix in the great state of Arizona. So I'm glad that they aren't left out of the scandal Olympics.
Do you recall any guns walking while you were there?
Yes, quite literally. There's a lot of cowboys, and you can have carry a sidearm in Arizona, like it's the 1800s. So you would see that in Arizona.
It's nice because you can kind of, with the open carry, you can kind of see from a distance which guys have the small penis. Which is nice. It's a good thing that, you know going in.
Yeah, and which guys just can't wait to kill somebody. Like they just, got that bloodlust.
I mean, do they actually wear the T-shirt that says "Didn't get enough hugs from my daddy," or is that more of an at-home thing?
It's usually part of a jacket and pants ensemble that says "Couldn't get laid." So, all right, these are a series of sting operations between 2006 and 2011 in the Tucson and Phoenix area, where the ATF purposely allowed licensed firearm dealers to sell weapons to illegal straw buyers, hoping to track the guns to Mexican drug cartel leaders and arrest them. So, as of October 2011, Lee, how many high-level cartel figures had been arrested?
Oh my God. I don't know if we have time to go through the list. There was El Cupicabo. There was long hair. I think he was more of a pirate type fella. There was
pirates, the drug cartel pirate guys.
AK-47 Pantalones. That guy, he was pretty rough. I mean, I just don't know them all to the top of my head, but I got, there's three of them.
So that's your number? You're going with three?
Three that I can remember. I mean, I'm sure there's
so many.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, you're three off.
Someone in the chat says El Chapo, but that was later.
That was definitely later.
Yeah.
The number of high-level cartel figures that had been arrested as of October 2011 was 0. These operations were done under the umbrella of Project Gunrunner, a project intended to stem the flow of firearms into Mexico by interdicting straw purchasers and gun traffickers within the United States. So this is how
gun running and gun walking are two different things, correct?
Well, it's more. They each burn almost the same amount of calories. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't know. Yeah.
It's more of it's more muscle building than cardio, as you would, because the guns actually are like carrying weights. So it's really good.
Can you put your gun on one of those jiggle pads and like get your abs defined, or?
Yeah, if you're in a time machine back to the 1950s to work out, yeah, you can absolutely get a gun.
I don't know. I think there's been a return of some jiggle pads. I because they'll sell you anything nowadays. They'll pretend it works. We're in exciting times. I mean, science doesn't matter anymore. So, dude,
no,
you can jiggle your shit all over the place.
Oh, dude, I want to go see El Chapo and the Jiggle Pads. You know what I mean? I think they're playing at the Bellagio in Vegas.
Chapo and the Jiggle Pads. The dance numbers out of that group are just outrageous. But
It's unreal.
one of my favorite things is like collecting like ads for just insane shit where it's like, oh, Americans, like a lot of Americans just don't know what to do with their money. They just have so much and they'll believe fucking anything. One of them was like a yoga pad that claims, they claimed it's filled with like magnetic intentions or something. And it's like $1,000 for the yoga pad that will heal your chakras and manhandle your feng shui or something. It's
Magnetic intentions. Oh my God. If there isn't a magnetic intentions, Matt, we need to start making one now because these dumb rich white ladies that do yoga will buy a magnetic intentions.
Makes so much money, man.
Oh God. Oh my God. I want to get into the magnetic intentions business.
Well, don't forget the feng shui manhandling and business. That's
What comes as a package. It's a package. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you get your tires rotated and you get an alignment. You get the feng shui
the mat actually jacks off your aura. It's fucking great, man. Straight up aura hand job.
Magnetic intentions is one of those things that sounds like it makes really good sense, but it doesn't at all. You know what I mean? Like it makes
all of these products are exactly like that. It sounds like it could make sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
So these dumbbells are at a higher frequency? Okay. I've been using dumbbells that are just like at the lower frequency. But these are higher frequency dumbbells. Okay, totally.
I was wondering that. I felt like my magnetic intentions were a little off, and I felt like they should have been more in alignment. Oh God, the wellness community buzzwords. Oh God. Oh, magnetic intentions. Jeez, that's so beautiful.
It sounds like a book of poems put out by a white woman with like the colorful yarn braided into her hair. Like,
oh God, and she absolutely has an Etsy page. Like she absolutely.
Oh
God.
Absolutely. Etsy.
Magnetic intentions. I can't fucking handle it. Our next live show, we have to just sell like empty bottles of stuff that say magnetic intentions and sell them to our audience.
I don't know if I've told this on the show before, but Eleanor, my partner, lived in LA for 10 years or whatever. She said there was a place near her, like a coffee shop, but it also had, she walked in there one day and there were jugs of intention water. And each jug, like one jug said like hope and one jug said joy. And like people would pay like $5 for a little cup of intention water. And she's like, what is that? And she's like, oh, that's our intention water. It's like the hope jug has been filled with hopeful intentions by the group of people that work on this water supply. And legit, like people walk in and they're like, yeah, I'll pay $13 for a cup of joy water.
You know what this means, Lee? That means there's somebody walking around LA dead serious saying I'm a water shaman. That's what this means.
Oh, I'm sure.
That
I
do
think that's
ceremonies.
I think that's what Theranos lady got into after Theranos. Like, really, when she was caught for that giant Ponzi scheme, she started, like, as she's like going into court and everything, she had started a water company where they like claimed they got it from some river that, only owls poop in or whatever. And she was selling like bottles of water for like $20 a bottle.
Oh God. I'm writing that down. Intentions water. Oh God. Oh, LA. God, I love LA. It's the only city in the world that would have the balls to do that and do it straight faced and say, "Yep, we're having an
If,
intentions
if you
water
get
play."
$20 for a bottle of intention water, I'm thinking 39.99 for a bottle of magnetic intention water.
Oh, for sure. Well, it's an extra level. I mean, you're
Yeah,
getting
next
it's
level up,
magnetic.
next frequency. It's a higher frequency. What it is.
Yeah, yeah. Made up hippie science. Yes, for sure. Of course. The level up. Fucking magnetic intention water. Oh God, we are going to sell that after our shows, man.
All right,
It is
all right.
gonna-
We got to get back to guns,
we're
and
running.
I've never, in Austin, Texas, you can buy different intention guns. You
Of
can buy
course.
a gun that has
Yes.
joyful intentions.
Oh yes. So many guns are joyful. Oh my God. All right.
Peaceful
These
intentions.
all right, I gotta finish this segment. All right. So they did this whole scam of gun running and to try to, catch cartels, which didn't work. The Jacob Chambers case, yep, a guy named Chambers in a gun case, began October 2009 and eventually
And his
became-
colleague, Billy Bullets.
and their trusted friend Susie Sidearm. This started in October 2009 and eventually became known in February 2010 as Operation Fast and Furious. God, I love those movies. After agents discovered Chambers and the other suspects under investigation belonged to a car club. God. Man, the ATF sounds dumb. Each weapon was equipped with a
ATF
GPS.
is legit like the guys that weren't accepted into the FBI, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's
Legit,
absolutely.
So your IQ is just south of that of a grapefruit. So you're going to be in the ATF.
Go find illegal cigarettes. That's important crime.
Go track down those Lucy cigs.
Yeah, they didn't have the stamp on the bottom of the pack. We need that crime solved today. In this great caper, each weapon was equipped with a GPS unit initially installed by the El Paso Intelligence Center. Boy, oxymorons are free-flowing in this place. Later purchased at a local electronics shop by the ATF. So they're just going to some Radio Shack in El Paso and just taping these on. Good plan, boys.
Yeah, I'm wondering, are there not some people, some drug kingpins who might know if a GPS tracker were in a gun?
Oh, it gets even better, Lee. So the GPS battery
just a
life.
walkie-talkie duct tape to the side of it.
Yeah, that's it. And you hear,
hey, can you let us know where you are?
Oh, Lee, I wish your joke was way more
exaggerated
than what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
So they got the GPS, and they bought it at an electronic shop in El Paso. The battery life was only a few days, and the GPS weapon tracker signal was routinely lost, especially in car trunks.
What? A few days? What is this gun gonna go straight to the drug king? How's that useful?
Yeah, it's a great question you're asking, Lee. This is why you're too smart to be in the ATF. It's why.
They're like, we'll tell the guys that no, there's no GPS in this gun, but you do need to plug it in frequently. What? Why?
Why? And obviously it doesn't work well in trunks. Oh, you mean the main way they're going to transport these illegal guns? It doesn't work well in that.
Let me guess. Yep. Also, they get no reception in Mexico.
Yeah, they don't work past the border.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's a different cell system. We can't get down there.
So tell the gun runners to drive fast because the batteries go dead pretty quickly, if you don't mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this line, will bring tears to your eyes. This lack of technical sophistication and failure of GPS as a tracker were the major reasons the Fast and Furious failure as an ATF operation. Oh, you think? Really? You guys put that together in your after action report, did you? Like, so the guns tracked by the ATF have been found at crime scenes on both sides of the Mexico-U.S. border, including the scene where the U.S. State's Border Patrol agent Brian Terry was killed on December 10th. The gunwalking operations became public in the aftermath of Terry's murder. Dissenting ATF agents came forward to Congress in response, according to Humberto Benitez Trevino, former Mexican Attorney General and the chair of the Justice Committee of the Chamber of Deputies. Related firearms have been found at numerous crime scenes in Mexico, where at least 150 Mexican civilians were maimed or killed. Revelations of gunwalking led to the controversy in both countries, and diplomatic relations were damaged. So basically, the whole thing didn't, we were supposed to use these to catch them. So we didn't catch any of these guns. They made it into the criminals' hands. So basically, the ATF helped arm criminals on both sides of the border, and no crimes were not only not prevented, these ATF guns were used in murders and killings. Right. So that's how effective these dipshits were.
So didn't result in any arrests, but we helped murder some civilians. So
yes.
Good.
Yes. But
good.
Hopefully the next round they'll get some longer life batteries. That's
yeah.
So
I assume.
That's the ATF gunwalking incident from 2006 to 2011, and the genius brain trust that put that caper together.
Speaking of geniuses, we're going to get into some of the secrets of World War II, secret stories of World War II.
Thank God the ATF wasn't around during World War II. Otherwise, we would have lost.
So I've been going through this book I got called Hitler's Secret Jewish Psychic. Now, kind of a lame title. I haven't even gotten to the Jewish psychic story yet, but it has all these just unknown stories of a lot of wars and stuff, but like World War II and Civil War. And so I'm just going to go through some of these because some of them are fucking amazing. And I figured we needed something a little lighter now that the world is melting down. So,
well, when in doubt, I mean, it reminds me of the show we did in Berlin, which I believe was our 100th episode, where I said I was a self-proclaimed psychic.
Yeah.
I've had some psychic events and you made fun of me for it. And then later in the show, I said, well, Lee, I am a psychic. And the German guy went, self-proclaimed from the audience.
Self-proclaimed you are.
Self-proclaimed. Keep it on the up and up. It was so beautiful.
So very German.
Very German.
As opposed to all those official psychics, card-carrying psychics.
I'm basically, Lee, I'm an unlicensed psychic.
Yeah. You're an open carry but unlicensed psychic. Yeah.
I just don't want the government telling me how to be a psychic, bro. So
no, who wants to invite government into your psychicism?
Psychicism. I feel like your magnetic intentions are off. That's what I'm getting from you.
The magnetic intentions that are coming towards me right now are a bit high frequency. Okay, can we tone it down a little?
Can we notch down your psychicisms?
Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna go through some of these. Some are just so fucking incredible, but and yeah, this it depends. If we have fun with this, it might be a multi-part, multi-episode series here. Adolf Hitler, I'm not sure if you recall him. He was something in the World War II.
Right.
Was about to commit suicide after the first major setback of his political career. As a young rabble-rousing agitator in the chaotic post-First World War in Munich, Hitler led the Nazi coup attempt against the Bavarian government in the Beer Hall Putsch in November 1923. It failed amidst a shootout with the police, which left 16 leading Nazis dead and Hitler injured. He was ushered away to a safe house owned by his close friend. When the police tracked him down 2 days later, Hitler became hysterical, pulled out his revolver, and tried to shoot himself. The wife of his friend pried the gun from his hand and stopped him.
Oh, good Lord. How would you want, like,
so close.
Let him go. Like, so close. So close.
If he'd just been a little quicker at the trigger.
Oh, God. Let the guy do his thing.
But it was so close many times. One authority estimates that Hitler survived at least 15 assassination attempts between 1938 and 1944. Yeah, so when people say they'd go back in time and kill Hitler, a lot of people tried. Just never seemed to work out.
Except this one dude's wife. God.
I'm not going to go through all the attempts, but the first documented attempt was before Hitler even became chancellor. It's by a disgruntled SS guard, 1929. He planted a remote control bomb under the podium at the Berlin Sportsplatz where Hitler was speaking. The plot failed when the guard felt the urge to go to the bathroom during the speech and accidentally got locked in. He was unable to detonate the device.
Oh, so, zoinks! Like,
note to all the kids out there: take a shit before you go to murder Hitler, and all the time travelers as well.
All the time, it's a standard time traveler thing. When you're going to go back in time to kill Hitler, always use the John before you time travel.
So it's so common, people forget that one.
I know. We've all done it.
March 1943, 2 months after the catastrophic German defeat at Stalingrad, increasing anti-Hitler sentiment, plotters planted a bomb on Hitler's plane as he flew back to his eastern headquarters. It was expected to explode midair. And what was common with these bombs was the way they used a fuse apparently was to use acid, and the acid vial would break, and it would take several minutes for the acid to set off the fuse. I don't quite know how it worked, but it involved acid. When the plotters, they found out the plane had landed, never exploded, and they couldn't figure out why. When the plotters recovered the bomb, they discovered that the acid had started to eat through the wire, which is what fires the bomb. But then the acid had frozen. According to one account, Hitler's pilot later explained that they had run into turbulence, and to get out of the discomfort, he'd taken the plane higher, causing the temperature in the luggage compartment to suddenly drop, freezing the acid and saving Hitler.
This is the most like wacky hijinks surrounding a guy that was so evil that I've ever heard in my life.
Well, and several of them, I might read one of them, or at least a few of them, involved suicide plotters who were willing to die for this. And it's like, just shoot him. You don't need some crazy.
You need acid and just pull out your gun and shoot the guy. Like, how hard is this?
Just use the gun. You don't need the whole and then the sharks with lasers will.
Yeah, you don't need that. Like, I need to set up the bomb. Before I do that, I got to go to the bathroom. Just pull out a gun and fucking drop 2 rounds into his head and then fucking blow your own head off.
And then go drop something else in the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, then go take a dump and blow your head off. Like, how fucking hard is this? They're so dumb.
A week later, another attempt was made, this time with a suicide bomb. So this guy, Rudolf von Gersdorf, had been part of the plan and decided he was willing to commit suicide during the attempt. So he was going to kill himself and Hitler. He had put a bomb in both pockets of his overcoat. And Hitler was supposed to be at this exhibition hall, and Gersdorf had primed the bomb and was basically going to walk up when it was about to go off and just grab Hitler and take them both out. But the fuses were 10 minutes long. So he started again, these are some kind of acid fuses. So he starts the acid. He's got 10 minutes. And they had estimated that Hitler was going to spend at least half an hour in the exhibition hall. Instead, Hitler comes in, looks at it for like 1 minute, and decides he's not interested and leaves. So Gersdorf rushes back to the bathrooms and diffuses the bombs. And then later finds out that if he had just kept following Hitler, Hitler then went out to like look at a captured Soviet tank and looked at it for like 20 minutes, and he easily could have done it there.
Again, aren't these guys soldiers? Don't you have a gun on your hip, you morons? Like, how hard is this?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. This is actually the one that I find most infuriating. In early 1939, before the outbreak of war, the British military attaché in Berlin, General Noel Mason McFarlane, proposed to London that Hitler could easily be assassinated by a sniper from an apartment building overlooking the Chancellery in Germany. Doing so, he reported, could have led to the overthrow of the National Socialism, and millions of lives would have been saved. The British government vetoed the plan on the grounds that it was unsportsmanlike.
What? Like, unsportsmanlike to kill the awful dude? God.
That's the Brits for you.
Oh, man. Thanks,
you gotta
guys.
do it. You got to do it by the book, Graham. Otherwise, what kind of man are you?
What kind of man are you? Wow. Again, just shoot this guy. You don't need an acid bomb. You don't need British, like, fair play. Just gun this mope down.
Yep. Oh, I can tell I'm frustrating you. It's just going to get worse. Britain, at the time I found some of these funny, but I guess now that I think about it, not so funny. less funny than I had originally thought.
I mean, honestly, who planned this? The ATF? Like, who was planning these murder assassinations? Just like
Britain unknowingly. So I know you know this. A lot of people know this, that Germany used their famed Enigma code to pass all their messages, and it took the Brits years and years to crack the Enigma code. And ultimately, cracking it is probably what helped the Allies win the war. But obviously, it took years and years to crack this code. Britain unknowingly had the secret to the famed Enigma code 15 years before they realized it.
What the hell are they doing over there? Are they just like, excuse me, Colonel, I have the... Oh, not now, Tibbins. I'm having tea. Like, what is just like...
But I think the answer... No. I'm busy.
I'm busy right now. Like, just every day, someone... I've found the cure for cancer. Oh, Tibbins, would you... Enough. We're having a real meeting. Schedule an appointment.
Trying to get a spot out of my cravat. I don't have time for this.
Oh, let it rest, Tibbins.
Obviously, if they had known that they had the secret 15 years earlier, chances are they would have won the war far more quickly, or maybe it never would have even happened. Let's see. British success in breaking the code that was used by Germany was one of the central reasons that they ultimately won. Britain, however, could have broken the system in 1924 had they not assumed that the Germans were not stupid. So the opportunity to crack the Enigma machine 2 decades earlier came as the machine was first used commercially in Germany in the early 1920s. So the famous encryption machine was not a war machine initially. It was being used in Germany in the 1920s. And the company that made it filed a full patent registration with the London Patent Office in 1924. This described exactly how the machine worked, and if British code breakers had simply followed the wiring pattern, because that's how the code worked, you had to know the wiring pattern. They just followed the wiring pattern that was listed in the patent application, they would have broken the code. But the code breakers didn't believe that Germany would ever use the same wiring pattern for the military version, so they never even tried it. They just ignored the wiring pattern that was given in the patent application. When the
Wow. Jeez, like, don't even.
When the intelligence services obtained the first military version of Enigma in 1939, they found that the device was wired alphabetically. A for the first contact, B for the second, C for the third. This was the same pattern listed in the patent application.
Gee, I'm so glad you guys didn't at least just run out that ground ball 15 years prior to save a bunch of lives. Good for you. Way to go.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the sniper thing?
Yeah.
Good.
Why not
Nice.
at least give it a test with the patent version?
Maybe just run that one up the flagpole just let's make sure the Germans aren't this.
In
they would never
2001,
do that.
In 2001, when the story emerged from recently released official files, Peter Twin, the analyst credited with being the first Briton to break Enigma, reflected, "I know in retrospect it sounds daft. It was such an obvious thing to do, rather a silly thing, that nobody ever thought it worthwhile trying."
Oh, wow. Yeah, daft doesn't quite cover it.
Only millions of people dead later.
Just
Slightly
because somebody
daft.
didn't want to just try it. Oh, wow. That's, man. And the Brits were our allies during this whole thing?
Yeah, for some of it. German arrogance also allowed the Brits to keep knowing what was being said in Enigma for several years. Basically, the code-breaking operation came perilously close to being uncovered in 1943 at the height of the Battle of the Atlantic. The head of the German U-boat forces became suspicious that Enigma had been broken, which it had, after an increase in the number of sinkings in submarines. So I'm not like a World War II, history buff where I know everything, but I know that Britain broke Enigma. They knew what Germany was saying, but in their hidden code, but they intentionally let some of their boats be sunk and allowed certain German movements because they didn't want to make it obvious that they already knew.
Yeah.
So they allowed certain things to happen, but apparently there was an uptick in submarine sinkings, and so the captain, the head of the U-boat forces, thought that Enigma had been broken. However, Abwehr, German military intelligence, then received information from Swiss intelligence that an agent telling them expressly that the British had cracked the codes. Although holding an inquiry, the German Navy experts concluded that the code was still secure despite clear evidence to the contrary. It seems they simply could not bring themselves to believe that the complexity behind Enigma had been broken. So the Allies continued to read the code unharassed until the end of the war.
Yeah, so German arrogance and British stupidity made for a really wonderful bedfellows.
Made for a really long war, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for stretching this out.
Yeah. There's another example where Germany had an excellent spy. It was the butler to the British ambassador to Turkey. And let's see, his name was Elyesa Bazna, codename Cicero. And he would basically go into this British ambassador's office when the guy was practicing his piano and steal everything, or look over all the documents, knew everything the Brits were doing, would then feed all that information back to Germany. However, Germany got suspicious that Cicero was a trick and that they were being played, that he was actually a double agent. So they stopped believing all of his information rather than acting on it. And because they just thought the information was too good, and why would a butler have access to all this stuff? Clearly you're going to cover it up more than this. Butler can't just wander around viewing all your information. And so they just stopped. They stopped using it, or maybe never used it. They thought it was a hoax. And sure enough, it was all genuine. And if they had acted on it, they would have been crushing Britain even more.
If they knew anything about the Brits, they would know how much they look down on their butlers. You know what I mean? They would just be like, Oh, Higgins isn't smart enough to be a spy. You can leave out the plans.
Well,
for
they
the-
look down on them or just pretend they're like, wallpaper. So it's like,
Yeah.
back then especially. So it's like you don't even notice if a butler walks into a room. Like, it's meaningless.
You don't acknowledge them as a person. So why would you worry that they're a spy?
Yeah.
God,
You'll
what
like
two
this one.
stupid cultures.
What is that?
I said two stupid cultures.
Graham, you're alienating our German and British fans.
No, they know. We're stupid too. America's pretty dumb. That's all this show is. It's talking about how dumb our country is.
The entire secret plan for the D-Day invasion of Normandy was nearly lost by a British intelligence officer 2 months before the operation was set to go. They'd been planning it forever. Contained every detail, the radio wavelengths that were going to be used, the codes that were going to be used. It was all laid out carefully in a briefcase of papers that the guy lost after hours of drinking.
I've got this briefcase with the most important information in the world. You know what I can use right now? A pint. I gotta get to a pub. You know what I mean? I gotta.
A pint or 7. Let's do it. Absolutely.
And after he's like getting knocked, he's like, "You're never gonna believe what I got in my bag. Oh my god, you guys got."
See, these should be the type of things they read at AA meetings. Like, we would like to now present to you how the entire D-Day plans were almost given away by a fucking drunk.
So you got to stay sober, boys. You almost sunk the whole goddamn D-Day invasion. This rummy.
Meanwhile, Churchill was like, "This fucking lush. Give me another whiskey."
That's unbelievable. Wow.
So, unless planners were going to take a huge gamble that nobody important found any of those documents and just go ahead. I mean, they still had a 2-month lead time. So it means you lose these documents. They have 2 months to find their way back to someone who wants to give them to Germany. They just have to, if they go ahead with it, they have to assume that didn't happen, or they have to completely replan all of the Normandy invasion, which took months and months and months. It says the preparation took nearly 2 years.
Wow.
Just as Harris, that's the guy who lost the documents, was about to pass the news on to his senior, he received a phone call from the Lost Property Office of the Scotland Yard, the capital's police headquarters, reporting that the briefcase had been found with some strange papers in it and a bottle of beer in the briefcase. The police officer wanted to know where the documents, whether they were important and if they could bring them by. It turned out a taxi driver had found them.
Oh, he left him in a cab. Beautiful. With a bottle of beer in it. Yeah, you don't want that. What's the worst that could happen? That breaks and the plans all get smudged or whatever. Who cares? It's just D-Day. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh.
All right, I'm gonna do one or two more, and then we'll make this a multi-part series. But
just bumbling, almost lost the war series.
Almost lost the war, or could have won the war like before it even started.
Yeah, started.
British. Okay, so here's something smart. Hey, Graham, you're looking for something smart. The Brits did. Here's something smart.
Yes.
British authorities were able to keep well informed of German troop movements. They did this by having French intelligence operatives set themselves up as laundrymen. Having established a reputation for low prices and good service, they had secured business from most of the German divisions in the Channel Coast region, so everywhere around France and everything. Bizarrely, when the German units moved on from an area, they showed a religious zeal for collecting their laundry, even providing a forwarding address to make sure they'd get it. It wasn't ready.
Hey guys, I'm going to a secret invasion spot. Can you make sure my shirts and socks and everything are sent up there to this address?
Dude, Graham, you got to understand those Hugo Boss uniforms were fire, man. They were
I know.
looking hot.
Dude, I don't want to fight a war without clean underwear. And I would absolutely want laundered, underwear and socks to be sent to a secret location.
And when you're in the trenches firing back and forth, you do befilth your breech. All right.
Befilth, right? You do befilth your breech. Yes.
It gets gnarly down there.
I think it's the first time in my life I've heard befilth.
Oh, now you're going to use it weekly. How do you
That's all I'm going to do.
How do you not use befilth?
That's coming. I gotta find a way to weave that into at least once a day. I gotta use befilth.
And what do you think Brits in the 1940s would have called it? Befilth. Befilth one's breech. Well, Tibbins, I befilled my breech.
Oh, Tibbins, I've befilled my breech. Don't bother me again with your code-breaking shenanigans. I need to go to the pub with these D-Day documents.
The only secret I'm concerned about keeping is the shirt in my breech.
Oh, I've befilled my briefs. Oh, God, beautiful.
As one account put it, the German army might be going to Valhalla, but they were not prepared to go without their linens. The surveillance revealed that shortly before D-Day, the Panzer divisions, the German Panzer divisions based elsewhere in France and between Antwerp and Brussels had not moved, indicating that they were still being misled by the Allied deception plan. So it helped them. The fact they had moved their laundry helped them know that the Germans were not aware that D-Day was coming.
So great.
All right. Well, we'll do one last one on how almost all of Paris was nearly burned down. The collapsing German war effort after D-Day should have ended in the complete destruction of Paris as Nazi forces were evacuating. The city was saved because of a signals clerk. On the evening of August 22nd, the Allies were still 2 days away from Paris. Hitler sent a telegram to the commander in the city instructing that Paris must only fall into the hands of the enemy as a field of rubble. So they had 2 days to set up explosives, feverishly working for days. They put explosive charges throughout the city on all 45 bridges, the Eiffel Tower, the Élysée Palace, and several industrial targets, as well as destroying the buildings. The explosives were designed to create a firestorm that would destroy the entire historic heart of Paris. The signals officer on duty that night at German headquarters received the telegram, and it happened to be 26-year-old Ernst von Brezendorf, whose love was art. He was an art lover, and it made him recoil at the vandalism that was in the order. Aware of how close the Allies were and that the war was effectively lost, but also that direct disobedience would lead to his execution. So he had to choose between like the Louvre and being executed. Wow. But he kind of chose a middle path. He delayed passing on the telegram to his commanding officer. But by the time he actually did pass it on to his commanding officer, they had been convinced. The officer had been also become convinced of the futility of the act. Paris was saved basically because there wasn't enough time to achieve the order.
That's crazy. I mean, this is actually a good story. You're right. I mean, this is where one guy actually made a good decision. Paris is a beautiful city. And
they also don't mention the number of lives. Like there were a lot when Germany was occupying Paris, there were a lot of French people still there. Like,
yeah, it would have cost a bunch of lives, not to mention all the artwork and the history. And then that means Paris would look like Frankfurt.
Yeah. Or, oh, wow. Well, Dresden.
Yeah. Yeah.
After the war, Bresendorf worked on the reconciliation of French and German families. He ultimately became revered in France as the man who saved Paris. His dearest wish was to live until the 50th anniversary of the liberation in 1994. He died 6 days before it.
Wow. Well, that's some karma. Well, you're still German. You're still a Nazi.
You still were a huge part of the Nazi war effort. So
yes. So thank you for saving Paris, but
no, not going to see your celebration. But yes, we'll wrap there. We'll continue some more of those. They're not. I have some on Civil War as well, and maybe some others. So it's not just World War II, but some great hidden history.
The Civil War ones have to be fantastic. I mean, just
oh my God, amazing!
Like how many guys just whatever could have won a battle, but they decided to sleep with a cow or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
yep. The Battle of Gettysburg was caused by shoes. I'll just leave it at that.
Sweet.
I'll reveal the rest of that in the next episode. The other thing is some of them we've covered before, like the War of 1812. They have in here about how one of the biggest battles that the U.S. won in the War of 1812 was in New Orleans. Also cemented Andrew Jackson as like a war hero. That battle took place 2 weeks after the war had ended. No, just word had not gotten there yet.
Oh, fantastic.
So quite the big battle success, completely meaningless.
I think we've learned a lot about that, about World War II, about how maybe the ATF needs to have a GoFundMe for longer life batteries. I mean, we've learned a lot today.
Yeah, we absolutely have.
That's fantastic. Well, Lee Camp, that has been our episode. Where can people listen and find all of your fantastic work?
Well, first, let me say, if you want a little more, we're going to do an extra segment at patreon.com/government secrets. The moment you join up for whatever it is, $5 or $6, you unlock 90 extra extra segments. Each segment's about 15 minutes. So you have loads waiting for you there if you'd like to support the show. So we'll go do that right now. For my other stuff, I have live streams regularly. That's youtube.com/moment of clarity. But the biggest place that does not seem to be suppressing me at the moment is Substack. So please join up at reallycamp.substack.com. Another 2 weeks and they'll realize I'm on there and then they'll come after me. But at the moment, reallycamp.substack.com. You can subscribe for free or become a paying member.
Awesome. Go to grahamelwood.com. I have a GoFundMe for this late night talk show I'm doing here in Bangkok. It is all coming together. We're putting together the staff and everything, and we are going to shoot this thing. It's going to be awesome. We're shooting it in the spring, in March and April. So go to grahamelwood.com, donate whatever you can to the GoFundMe, and everything else that you need from me and what I'm doing is at GoFundMe. Also, my Patreon, I dropped a new series, and you can only watch it on Patreon, called Laughs Around the World. It's me sort of kind of doing sort of Anthony Bourdain-ish, a little bit like traveling, getting the culture, having like lunch or something with a local comedian and talking about what it's like there, and then doing a show that night. So nice. Go to patreon.com/GrahamElwood. Check that out.
Cool.
This has been Government Secrets, episode 194. The ATF Gunwalking and the funny, wacky Germans and Brits in World War II.
All right. See you later.
See you over the Patreon, everybody.